In 1977, in 1976, after Elijah Muhammad died in 1975, in 1976, another cracker wrote a book called Elijah in 1976, and we had this bicentennial party. Big party. Richard Pryor put out Bicentennial Nigger and all that. At this particular time, the next year, they started the Clone Wars. They started the Clone Wars. And the 20-year anniversary, I'm trying to tell you this. Listen to this. If you get Vera Stanley Alder's book, Vera Stanley Alder's book, Finding of the Third Eye, someplace up in there she is quoting that in the last days, the black people's third eye will open. Sometime in the late 80s, early 90s. But at least by now, everybody's third eye is supposed to open. Now listen to this, because this is very key that you understand this. And this is the mark on whether I'm telling the truth or not. It's in her book, it's in Mary Holt's book, Practical Egyptian Magic. And the book says that there is a time capsule program with the old ones that will be triggered, and we will get the knowledge of the old ones, which is talking about the pineal gland and the third eye opening up in the last days. In another book called Kundalini for a New Age, just remember that, it says there are devices in the body that will come online on program when the race is nearing extinction. In Murray Holt's book, Ancient Egypt, Sirius Connection, or it's called the Sirius Connection now, it says, in the chapter on the lion power, it says that the cat lion crystal gene, and this, they're just talking about, they got all these fancy names for melanin, and how this shit is going to come online. They're getting it from the Rosicrucian Cosmos Conception, which is a whole book, kind of racist, but in the book it bears witness that the pineal glands will open up in the last days. As well as Mark Balfour's book, Sign of the Serpent, Key to Creative Physics. Anytime you hear the word creative physics, that means melanin. And it says, based on a team of scientists in 1988, that the Kundalini has started opening up in people on the planet, which is your energy, which is your third eye energy. It opened up in white people, but they burn up because they don't have a third eye, so when they get up there, they double back and they catch on fire. Internal combustion. But it says the Kundalini energy will be opening up. Now this is the key. There's several books out on this that bears witness to this, as well as biblical texts and all kind of ancient texts you can get on how we would be. There's a book called Prisms of Lyra, and it said that the Syrians, which is us, got the last laugh. They put a genetic time capsule in the Syrian people, which is us, that will open up, and it'll be triggered when the acceleration of evolution is triggered, and the vibratory rate rises, this thing will trigger, and we will eat from the tree of life, which means you would be coming back to your God self. Now, let's deal with the doggone investigative reporting here. How many people have been conscious or somewhat into this within the last 7 years? Into some type of consciousness, have been searching for, not longer, but let's say since 1990. As you know, with the Afrocentric movement and a couple of things, it seemed like 3-4 years ago you had more black conscious people than you have now. That's right. Black people losing their damn mind. And they ain't complaining about shit. Just taking it. And going back to Jesus. Like a nigga from 1930. Ain't got a bitch. All you unlearned. And conscious people. Now this is the key on what I'm trying to say here. If the science in the book The Finding of the Third Eye, and all these particular science have come down and said that the third eye was supposed to open in the late 80s and the early 90s. But yet we're in 1997 and seem like there are more dead people than it is conscious. It's almost like you all alone out this shit now. That's right. Well, something had to happen open up. Now, what I'm saying to you is to imagine within the last 20 years or so that the United States government had come in and literally replaced our race with a clone race. I ain't talking about no some motherfuckers. I'm telling you that what if 88% of everybody you see is some form of a damn robot or something? This is some real shit. Now don't get all alarmed, because I'm explaining this thing to you in a few minutes on what the hell is going on. They have come and they are killing about 2,000 black people a day in cloning centers all around the country. Very key that you understand this. But that's all good. Because in the Gospel of Thomas they say when you seek knowledge and you find what you seek, you're supposed to be disturbed. But when you are disturbed, start rejoicing, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Now when they gave me this revelation, I swear to God, and I saw this shit, I said, can't nothing be as bad as this. That the only reason why you here today, and it's just a few of us in the United States, and the third eye, first of all, your third eye is open. For the mere fact that your third eye was not open, you would not be into this shit. You would reject it flat out. That's what the third eye is, your awareness of this thing and your hunger for it. That's why you up in this shit on a Saturday night.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
Your God self hasn't set in yet, but your third eyes are open. You just don't know it's such a natural process. The perception. But what I'm trying to tell you is that all those people, most of the people you see out there are robots. And that's what the guy in the THX movie was saying. Now THX is Lucas Sound. It is on the end of all movies now.
Yes.
And he's the new rich man.
Yes.
So they put out this movie to celebrate 20 years of the Clone Wars. We're talking about some crazy shit. But that's good, because it means that, because it's not meant for you to survive in the physical, no way.
That's right.
It's meant for your soul to go into another dimension and get off this sector. And I'm saying we close with this shit. We are so close with this thing till it can be tomorrow. We got to always say this, because I'm telling you, it's very close. Now listen to this. Huh? You listen? Yes. I'm telling you. Let's look at this. Look at this. What they had to do is this. In the 1960s, 1940s, 1950s, after they learned how to do this cloning, they realized that somewhere in the 1980s that the energy would get so bad until they would not be able to live on the earth with a lot of melanated people, at least not in America.
Okay.
The Clone Wars is now shifted from this shit and it's over in Africa now. So all the people that's killing each other is clones, because they're cloning them up. So what's the ultimate weapon? To kill people and still have them here. And you do it through the church, you do it through the hospitals, and now most of your organizations are clone organizations. And that's what really, you say, but really these marches is a tracking device to see how many people are here and what the conscious is, and they put on all this type of stuff. I'm telling you, this is some real deal shit. Y'all can believe it or let it alone. But listen to this. They had this sector right here. They could no longer live on this sector anymore with the melanated people. So in order to live based on the energy, they had to transfer you out of this sector, or in this case, let's put it this way. Let's back this up. Because you ain't up, you down. It's in another dimension. Well, basically, let's do it this way. This is the sector that they had that you were in, called the earth. They had to transfer you from this sector to an alternative sector, same earth, but the spiritual earth, the one that's actually on the inside of this earth. The only one that was left down here was very, very advanced souls that is getting this shit now. Because you got to blow them up. You got to kill them on this sector. So you leave your physical body and join the rest of the motherfuckers and glorify them. So we get in on the killing, but they get in on the killing too because the force is all around us and they become a part of you. So every black person they kill makes you stronger because that person is a part of you because it's the same force and they're actually living with you. They're the same force and you can tap into it. They are you now. You get this what I'm saying? They couldn't live, so they transferred you into this sector, and that was the big black thing Hale Rock was talking about that was over the earth, that was big as the earth. But the key is, they have come in, and now, what you don't understand is, there ain't nobody really out there. Most of the people you see is robots. The classic example, go get the 1956 version or the 1978 version. And it's the classic example, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's what we're talking about here. That is it to the T, and that's what you got to understand. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is actually what's going on at this particular time. And so basically what I'm saying is the horror is that you basically are the only ones here. And the only ones other than that is the ones that basically bear witness to this stuff at this particular time. It's kind of lonely, but that's cool. That's cool because now the ultimate reality is here. But all you got to do, but it's bear witness in also the dark crystal. When they kill them all off, and when they kill them all off, in the Star Wars they killed off all the Jedi Knights. Remember? That was the Clone War. And the word Jedi Knights come from the word Jedi Bendu. It's an Indian word which means black doctor, Bendu seed. Jedi Bendu. If you want to learn some more stuff, you got to go and get the vision behind the man's work in Star Wars, the annotated scriptures, where he gives you the several drafts of what he did to put it in the movie. And he said he got the whole movie from 40-something mythological books, including the book A Hero of 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell. You see what I'm saying? Which is all about the head roof story. So now, they killed them all off. They killed them all off in the Dark Crystal also, too. And all. So now, what we're talking about here is we have been hit so hard. What has happened is this. The white boy understood that in the 1960s, that the energy of the black man, whether you marching or whether you're in the nation or whatever you was doing, was so strong till the energy even took his kids over and they like they got away from him with the hippie thing and the Vietnam protest thing and Kent State, you see what I'm saying, and Attica and that whole 9 yards. So what the deal was, they just sat back and said, we're just going to cool it for a minute. But the key is when they came back out, they are somewhere in the year 2025, and we are back there in 1969 in our thinking. You understand what I'm saying? The rest of the people. So therefore, if you're in 1969, and he is doing a war that is only proportion of something in the space age with the clone thing and don't tell you about it, you'll never perceive the shit. So now the multiculturalism is fine because they done got all the people that's danger to them out of this sector, or so they think. Because it never said that it was going to be the masses of the people. It said it's a select few, but you don't have to worry because they didn't kill them. They just ultimately released the souls. So energy cannot be destroyed.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's still a catch-22. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. You see? Make us more stronger and more powerful. You understand what's going on here?
Right.
So, dealing with that ultimate reality, that means that we are right in the hour of what is going on right now. And so what they are doing, this, I'm telling you, what I'm trying to tell you is this. This is just like a horror show. Everything out there is gone.
That's right.
There's no such thing as a black race no more. The only thing is the light bringers left down here because you were supposed to be the ones left behind in this sector to kill this beast and to end this shit. And it's got to go down soon. You see what I'm saying? And it's an ultimate reality, so it's got to go down soon. I'm telling you, this shit got to go down soon, and it will. When we go into the alchemical part, we'll understand some things when we go in that particular part. You want to take a break, or you want to keep on going, or what? Let's deal with this. Dealing with the Kabbalistic part. You need to get this book, Kabbalah Exodus, is the book you need to get. Now, another book is, let me see if I got this book. On the Kabbalah and its Symbolism by Gershom Scholem, which, like I said, is one of the top crackers out of Tel Aviv that died in 1982. And we're going to deal with some stuff out of here because some very special things, especially what went down today. With this particular energy of this march is also talking about the Shekinah. Now, it also went down in 1984. In 1984, they dethroned Vanessa Williams from her post as Miss America, the first black Miss America, that they purposely knew she had been in the books before they even picked her.
That's right.
To dethrone her. That's the way they do shit. But they happened to dethrone her on July 23rd of 1994, which is the same time of the rising of the star Sirius, which is very key to understand that at this particular time. So they dethroned her, and all, but that represents also because the mystery of the Shekinah is the great mother, or the Mother Sophia, or the Mother Shekinah, which is supposed to be the Hebrew form, is supposed to be a feminine spirit that is in exile, and it is in exile. And this particular feminine spirit, we can't get to an earthly new condition until this particular feminine spirit that is exiled, until we get to that gate where that feminine spirit is. We know now that we are right at the gateway because you got a million damn black women marching and shit. They got to constitute for something. Yeah. The energy part, even the million man march. You look at the mundane part, all kind of shit just got to transpire to get to them. But remember, anything that is happening down here is backfiring on the cracker.
That's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So for whatever reason, what made the march transpire today, that is the 50 gates of that particular feminine energy coming back out of exile. Now let me go into some of this so you can understand some of this at the particular time. It says that the symbolism of Adam's banishment from paradise in human history begins with the origin of exile. Again, the sparks of the Shekinah, which is the black dot in you also, to melanin, are everywhere scattered in exile, are everywhere scattered among the spheres of the metaphysical and the physical existence. But not all. Adam's great soul, in which the entire soul substance of mankind is concentrated, has also scattered. The first man, which his vast cosmic structure shrinks to his present dimension, and the sparks of Adam's soul and the sparks of the Shekinah are dispersed and fall and go into exile, where they will be dominated by the shells, which is your physical body. So you fell into a physical body, which is the shells, which is an illusion that don't exist no way.
That's right. Jack.
That's what the shell is. This is on page 115 in this particular book, Kabbalah and its Symbolism. Adam's soul is the masculine half, which is Horus or Heru. Shekinah's soul is the spiritual half, which is Isis, Ma'at. Mainly Ma'at would be Sophia in Gnosticism. In Gnosticism, the world of nature is called, and the shells are called the Kalipos. The world of nature and the human existence is the scene of the soul's exile. Now, you get that? It says that the human realm, the higher, hell, is the scene of the soul's exile. Hell. I'll deal with some things to cover. It says on page 73 in this particular book, this is a very good book to get. It's one of his better books because it's one of the few books that he got. His stuff is very hard to read. It says that the infinite and the transcendent Godhead, which is your head, is both hidden essence, which is melanin, and when it first, through the revealing of the infinite power, it means that the hidden essence in this particular part of the Godhead is actually melanin. In this particular part about the Godhead, you've been hearing people talk about the Godhead. The Godhead means the star head are the ones with the head of God, which is the melanated heads of the black dot seeds, of the black dot seeds, is what it's talking about. Now on page 91, it says in here on page 91, it says that the tree of God, which is the body of God, which is the tree of the whole world, but at the same time, the tree of souls is spoken in the other fragments of Behar. And it says, in this passage, however, it is not represented as some type of something planted by God. It is the mystical structure of God's power. But it says that this particular tree is inside of us. This mystical God's power is inside of us. Now this is still just going back to this particular part. And when we get into the real part of this particular part on what we have to actually do is just basically it's a thought pattern that clicks and turns this whole thing around. Is the way you view shit. That turns this whole thing around is the way you view things. Look, go get the movie Doom. How many people saw the movie Doom? And I got everything in the movie, but I was still trying to find out what the hell was the water of life. Remember that? What was the water of life? I was still trying to find out what the hell was that. That is the key to the whole movie. In this particular part, let me get this right. In this particular part, let's see what page is that on. Basically, it says that God, through the water, increases the power of the tree. The tree is the physical body, but it's actually the chakra systems and all that in the body. And what is God's water? It is Hakma, wisdom. That is the tree that is i.e. the tree of life, the soul of the righteous, who flies, and the source, which is very key when I go into what we need to do. We was trying to find out what the hell is this water of life in doom. And the water of life is just knowledge, gnosis, divine knowing, and one illuminates itself through the divine knowing. Very key that you understand that. When we go into how this thing works in the alchemical terms of the divine knowing, of the divine knowing and all. It says that the holy Israel base occupies the crown and the heart of the tree. So Israel is us, Israel. And the crown, which is the crown chakra, and the heart of the whole tree that everybody's looking for is only occupied by Israel, which is us, the God man or the God people, is what this particular part is talking about. Also, one of the other fruitful and multipliers. The first one was fruitful and multiply on the physical. The second one is fruitful and multiply in pouring into this other dimension that we have to occupy. This particular sector, you understand what I'm saying? This particular sector, but it has to be occupied by us. That's the amenta that has to be radiated, is that particular part. But also in this book, it talks about, this Gershom Schulem's book, it talks about evil that comes from the north, that keeps us in bondage, which is talking about the damn white man. is what this particular part is actually talking from. But it also says that in the end, God will emerge from the hidden body of the tree, which is also talking about all of his white boys come in and done a job. He is so arrogant now that he really don't think that nothing he can do. And that's the beauty of it all. The beauty of it all is, remember in Star Wars, the Emperor, the third trilogy, he said, the third part, he said, your own arrogance or your own confidence is going to be your undoing. So this cracker now got everybody, he got all the world leaders hanging on a damn string. And he just don't think that there's nothing out here that can defeat that. But he don't really understand it's alchemical.